Hello, my dear students. In the last class, we have seen matrix of rotation. Now, let us see one note relating to it. So, I will write note over here. Note. Now, just keep one thing in mind. Uh, we are going to deal with polar coordinates over here. So, I will say for any capital X is equal to r cos t, where t is the argument, and r sin t transpose. So I am treating this x as a column vector. So let us see what is the action of this x on the matrix of rotation. So for any x belonging to this R2, this T stands for transpose, note that. So just I will use capital T. This cos phi minus sin phi, sin phi and cos phi multiplied by this r cos t and r sin t. So actually what we are doing, we are finding m of r phi x, isn't it? So now this is equal to, if you take the product, it will be r cos phi cos t minus r sin phi sin t, and over here you will have r sin phi cos t plus over here you will have r cos phi sin t. Now just we are supposed to recall the formulas of sin and cos. This will be further equal to, if you take r common, bracket मध्ये काय राहील, cos phi cos t minus sin phi sin t, आणि इथनं जर r कॉमन घेतलं तर काय राहील, sin phi cos t plus cos phi sin t is further equal to r cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. That formula we are supposed to use. So I hope you remember, it is cos of phi plus t, and this is r sin of phi plus t. So what has happened here? You can see that this vector x, that is r cos t and r sin t, has been related by an angle phi. Can you see that? Because over here you have got cos phi plus t and sin phi plus t. Actually x काय होता आपला, r cos t r sin t. So what changes this matrix has done to this vector x in R2? It has by an angle phi. इथे cos phi plus t आलं की नाही? I hope you are getting my point. Now let us see the action of the reflection matrix on this vector, that is r cos t and r sin t, which will be further equal to, so just note one thing, there is one change in the matrix of reflection. So whatever theory we have discussed, in that theory there we were having 2 theta, so that was a reflection about a line passing through origin making an angle theta with positive x-axis. But in this case it is reflection about a line passing through origin making an angle theta by 2, because I have replaced this 2 theta by what, theta. I hope you are getting my point. So which is equal to, so by simply taking the product, you will have r cos theta cos t plus r sin theta sin t. Over here you are having r sin theta cos t, and over here minus r cos theta sin t, which is further equal to r. So cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, so it is cos of theta minus t, and this is r sin of theta minus t. So just see what does reflection matrix do on our vector r cos theta, r sin theta. Okay, just observe this angle because this will be required in the next theorem. Now we will see equation of a line passing through origin making an angle theta with positive x-axis. Naturally we know equation of a line, that is y is equal to mx plus c, right? And when does this line pass through origin? If the value of c is 0, that is y is equal to mx is the equation of line passing through origin. But the thing is, what about the slope? Since theta is the angle made by the line with the positive x-axis, so can we write equation of a line with the help of this theta? And the answer is yes. How? Because we already know that the polar form is nothing but what? X is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. So if you put the values of x and y in this equation, what we are going to get? R sin theta is equal to m r cos theta, and r and r will get cancelled. So what is m? Sin theta upon cos theta, and that is nothing but what? Tan theta. So the meaning is, if we are knowing the angle made by line with the positive x-axis, that is sufficient for us to write the equation of a line, because with the help of that angle we can tell what is the slope, and slope is sufficient for us to write the equation of a line passing through origin, right? This m is important. Once it is known, then we can immediately tell the equation of line. So once we are knowing the theta, that is the angle made by line with the positive x-axis, then definitely we can tell the slope, that is nothing but what? M is equal to tan theta, and therefore equation of the line in that case will be y is equal to tan theta x. And remember, what is our matrix of reflection in this case? So in this case the matrix of reflection is cos 2 theta, actually just note this, cos 2 theta, sin 2 theta, sin 2 theta, and what? Minus cos 2 theta. This is your matrix of reflection, that is rho theta. So I'm sorry, here we should have rho theta by 2, isn't it? Because now over here our line of reflection is nothing but what? Tan theta by 2 x. Is that okay? So if your matrix is containing only theta, then line of reflection is tan theta by 2x, and if your matrix of reflection is containing 2 theta, then your line of reflection is y is equal to tan theta x. So just keep it in mind, this should be known. Now we will see the definition of orthogonal matrix. A square matrix of order n is said to be orthogonal if A inverse is equal to A transpose, that is nothing but A into A transpose is equal to I, which is equal to A transpose A. So this is very interesting, the orthogonal matrix. So suppose I take my matrix to be of order 2 by 2, then what we will be having here? This is simply a remark, I will say. So then what will happen? A into A transpose will be equal to I, which is equal to A transpose A. So if you try to calculate A into A transpose is equal to I, what we will get is, this will imply this is A, B, C, D, and what is the transpose one? It is A, B, C and D is equal to the identity matrix. And if you do certain calculations, what you are going to get? A square plus B square, then you will get AC plus BD. Over here also AC plus BD, then here you'll get c square plus d square, which is equal to 1 0 0 1. And if you compare it, after comparison, what you are going to get, you will have a square plus b square as 1, ac plus bd as equal to 0, and c square plus d square is equal to 1. So what is the meaning of this? See, a square plus b square is nothing but what? If you observe matrix A properly, what is the first row of the matrix? It is AB, right? And what is the second row? That is CD. So what will be our norm of first row AB? If you treat it as an element of R2, what will be norm of this first row? It is going to be under root of a square plus b square. But the value of a square plus b square is 1. Right? So therefore this will be equal to 1. Similarly, what will be norm of the second row? It is also going to be 1. Right? And what about their dot product? In the sense, dot product of AB with CD. So if you try to find dot product of AB with CD, it will be AC plus BD, right? Dot product of A with C plus dot product of B with D. And what is AC plus BD? We have proved that it is equal to 0. So what we have proved actually, in other words, whatever the rows of A are there, they are nothing but what? They are orthogonal to each other, and norm of each row vector is equal to 1. So do you remember some definition after looking towards it? So my point is, whenever you are having a matrix A, so rows of that forms an orthonormal basis of R2 actually, because norm of AB, norm of CD is 1, and AB and CD are orthogonal also, and same is true in case of columns also. So what calculations I have done over here? A into A transpose is equal to I. If you do the similar calculations for I is equal to A transpose A, then you will see that columns of A will form what? An orthonormal basis of R2. So this is very interesting thing, and this will be required in the theorems that we are going to discuss. Okay, maybe in unit number 2 or unit number 3. This I wanted to just point out. So just I will erase it out right now. Now let us go for next result, that is determinant of orthogonal matrix is always plus or minus 1. So we can prove it easily. So I will say, let A be a orthogonal matrix of order n. Let A be a orthogonal matrix of order n. Therefore what we are having, therefore A into A transpose will be equal to I, which will be equal to A transpose A. So considering only this part, so I will say consider A into A transpose is equal to I. Now apply determinant on both sides. So therefore determinant of A into A transpose is equal to determinant of I. Therefore this determinant of A into A transpose is nothing but determinant of A multiplied by determinant of A transpose. And what is determinant of identity matrix? It is 1. Which formula we have used? Because we already know that determinant of AB is equal to determinant of A multiplied by determinant of B. This formula we have learned in second year. But what is determinant